When I first walked into the main room, a few of the guys looked up at me. One man sat in a wheelchair with long dreads, popping gum over and over. Later I learned it wasn't regular gum, it was nicotine gum. And he chewed so much of it, he could somehow smell the flavor. He loved that stuff like it was gourmet. Another guy was clearly on the spectrum. He would tap each finger 3 times against the doorframe, then turn in a perfect circle 4 times. Every once in a while, out of nowhere, he'd somersault across the floor like it was part of his routine. And then there was the young guy younger than me who had suffered a massive stroke from heavy meth use. Out of the 8 or 9 men in that place, these 3 stood out immediately. I didn't see all their quirks on day 1, but something in my gut told me from the second I stepped inside, these are some characters. Every morning started with what they called a meditation session. In reality, it was a half-awake room full of grown men trying to be quiet while hypnotic YouTube hip-hop played through cheap speakers. We were supposed to close our eyes and find peace, but some guys mumbled, some whispered, some argued under their breath. The whole thing was more noise than mindfulness. One of the classes was about how to live life without drinking or using. Basically practice sessions for walking down the street and learning to spot the slippery slopes, the little traps that pull us right back into destruction. These classes weren't teaching us how to use like normal people, because the truth is simple: normal people don't do what we do. We learned we had crossed a line that doesn't uncross. Once you hit that point of no return, going back only gets darker, smaller, and more deadly. I had learned that before. I would learn it again months later the hard way. The one thing I genuinely looked forward to was my weekly one-on-one session with a licensed therapist. I finally had the chance to ask someone who actually understood what behaviors were toxic, what was paranoia, what was mistreatment, what was me being oversensitive. Week after week, it became clear I grew up around narcissism, and as an adult I kept repeating that pattern. I walked right back into what felt familiar, even when it hurt me. We didn't exactly have luxury beds, but it wasn't a prison cot either. The house had 4 or 5 rooms, each with 2 or 3 beds. I ended up in a room with 6 beds total, but only 3 of us slept there. So I had this weird half-privacy that somehow worked. The building itself was an old Victorian house, must have been 100 years old. If you walk down Telegraph Avenue toward downtown, you see a ton of those old places. Many used to be hotels built back when people got around in horse-drawn buggies. It was called Telegraph Avenue because the telegraph wire literally ran from Oakland into the North Bay along that route. The days were almost painfully structured. Even taking a shower came with rules. If you weren't in and out at the exact time they wanted, one of the staff members would scold you like you were a child. Some staff were cool, they'd talk with you if you showed respect. Others, if they sensed you were polite, they took it as permission to walk all over you, to yell just because they felt like it. But here's the truth. I wasn't there to fight with people. I wasn't there to challenge authority or impress anyone. I just wanted to get well. If 90 days of this rigid and comfortable, sometimes humiliating setup is what it took to get my head straight and be there for my kid, and fine, I'd take it. Because the bigger fight wasn't with them. It was with myself. Thank you for watching this episode. This entire series drops every 2 weeks. 5 minutes at a time. If you're struggling with addiction or you love someone who's fighting for their life, I made this channel for you. Please like, subscribe, and share this story with somebody who needs it. I appreciate you, I love you, and God bless.